And welcome to MirthWood. So after basically completing the entire game in its current version, well, I have to say that the game comes with a lot of red flags, but it might also be suitable for a lot of people. So first of all, we have to talk about three major issues. Number one, the game is in early access. The game is not marked as early access, but the developers have admitted to it. They have a roadmap. They have everything laid out as an early access game for updates and content-wise. But they just run out of time and money, and they decided not to call it early access because in early access they need to offer it at a discounted price, and many people don't want to buy early access games because they have a bad reputation. Yeah, I wonder why they have a bad reputation, because developers keep using early access as Kickstarters, and yeah, treat the game as an early access game that is in beta stage, not even early access, a little bit below it. The second problem is that developers are, let's just say they're a bit shady, because they had a roadmap, then they changed it, then they posted it on their Discord. The roadmap is also on Reddit, but it's the older one, so it's a bit shady. So you might not like the end game product, because the game was supposed to have a lot of features, like, you know, your character growing old, being able to marry someone, have a child playing on as your child as he grows up. The villages and the various towns over here were supposed to interact with each other through paid routes. You're supposed to be friends with people, enter their houses, kind of like in Stardew Valley, but even more than that. People were supposed to die, get buried, new children were supposed to be born. Anyway, it was supposed to be a very, very in-depth sim game of the entire map interacting with all of the elements, and you're supposed to, you know, have a lot of animals, have a lot of fields. You can have that, but it's so buggy, glitchy, and wonky that I don't think that will ever be in the game. So you might not like the end game product, plus whatever you read about the game in the description or in other videos, it's not really true. So it's a big problem in my opinion. And also number 3, the game has only about 20 hours of content. If you play more than 20 hours, you'll kind of dislike the game and you'll see all of the problems and all of the things that are lacking. I mean, let me give you another example. You see these things on the map? They are player bases. I can teleport to those other bases, and they're basically like this one, except they don't have anything in them. They have a sleeping spot. One of them has a house, but mostly it's a sleeping spot and a table for you to build stuff. I think the idea was that you're supposed to have multiple bases where you can harvest certain things, do certain stuff. I mean, in the marshes probably you're supposed to have certain types of plants that grow a certain time of year. It's supposed to be very in-depth with the plants growing, and also those are trees. I think that's an apple tree and a pear tree that are supposed to grow over time as well. So again, a lot of in-depth mechanics that will never happen, and if you try and explore them, you'll just get bored. So as a short recap, 1. Game is in early access. 2. The developers don't inspire a lot of confidence because they had to release the game in early access, and they don't want to tell a lot of people about the roadmap and these plans on Steam. They just like to have the little cults on Reddit and Discord. And number 3, well, like I said, 20 hours of content. So let's get started. As you can see, I have a lot of things over here, and this is everything you need to have in your base to finish the game. You can make money other ways, so farming is definitely the worst way to do it because it's so boring and bland. You need a lot of upgrades. So the progression for the tools is full game, but the game is early access. So as you can see, that causes a lot of problems and repetition. This is my house with all of the paintings. Usually get the painting for finishing a mission, exploring a location, buying it from someone, or other ways. They're just decoration, for decoration purposes. Some of them will say they have a certain affinity, but again, that's not in the game. You also have the upper floor, which you need to separately upgrade from the lower floor, so it looks kind of cool. But yeah, that's the best feature of the game, decorating it. So beyond decorating the game, you don't really have much to go on. To give an example, so this is the walls. I think a lot of people will love this feature. I like it as well. Exquisite walls. I mean, look at this. You can make this look like a Roman villa. Oh, yeah, that's the right word. If I can find the limestone floor. It's also a bit wonky. Limestone refined. Yeah, look at this. Doesn't this look great? So you can give a lot of themes to your game, like having a summer house, a villa, like having a mansion with nobility, a sailor house and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just stuff that is not really meant in interactable with. It's just supposed to be, I don't know, eye candy. Yeah, it's eye candy. Let's not call it anything else. I like the wood. It feels more homey. And currently the best way to play the game is to just do the mining, do the smithing, find all of the recipes, do the main quest. You have a main quest, and that's kind of it. After you finish the main quest and explore the entire map, by the way, all of these locations don't show up on the map. So, for example, this house doesn't show up on the map, this doesn't show up on the map. You have to explore, and locations will get shown to you as you play more. And some of them will have traders, some of them will have quests for you, some of them will just be mines. But unfortunately, not everything is marked on the mine properly. As you can see, even the villages don't have a name, which is silly in my opinion. Because all of them need to have a name, and also you need to be able to put markers on the map. It says they're marked, but as you can see, you can only put one. So you're supposed to have a lot of freedom with the map, otherwise you'll never remember where stuff is, or all of the pathways are. Or, for example, here you can hunt bears, here you can hunt deer, here you can hunt, I don't know. Just a lot of things that are missing from the game, and that's why my score for the game is a 7 out of 10, with the huge warnings that I told you, and the fact that I'm a big graveyard keeper player. So yeah, I think the game is not really worth buying right now, no matter if you're a big fan of Graveyard Keeper or Stardew Valley, just because of the lack of quality. For example, if I'm pressing F2, it will teleport me outside because the game is so buggy that most of the times you'll get stuck somewhere, and the developers actually put a command into the game itself so you can get unstuck. I have never played a game where you can press a key binding to basically take you out of a location because you'll get stuck, and it happened to me a lot of times, plus the crashes and some other things. So yeah, 7 out of 10, only if you want to support the developers, but I really recommend you to wait until the next big update. Otherwise you might be stuck with a product you don't like and just end up wasting a lot of money. Also, this is the endgame equipment. Doesn't look like it's much, does it? That's because it's probably not meant to be the endgame equipment, but this is all that is currently in the game. So beyond what I've shown you with the farming and exploration quest, endgame and story, you also have diagrams that you can buy, get as rewards, or just find at some weird vendors. And you'll notice that most of them are resembling something. So yeah, it's true, the game is a bit of a meme when it comes to some things. For example, you recognize that this is definitely the Aragon sword in Lord of the Rings. Runeblade is, I don't know, I guess it's just a generic Viking weapon with runes on it. Hillsong is definitely supposed to be a katana. Winter's Bite is supposed to be Frostmourne if you just add more decorations on top of it. Varin Sword, I don't know, it might be another reference to something. This is a cutlass. Duelist Blade, Sword of the Plains. Looks very suspiciously to other weapons. This is definitely from Lord of the Rings as well, the Elven Sword. So yeah, it's very... I'm not sure what this is. It's very gimmicky in a way. These are all the bows in the game, and you have some historical stuff as well, which is the thing that attracted me to the game, but sadly not really fully implemented. You have the studded leather jacket. This looks amazing. The brigandines, the other various armors, but again, that's not enough. And as you can see, you have affiliations, and these locations are not currently in the game, so I suppose we'll have to... When the game is fully released, guess what? I think we'll visit all of these locations, so... Cheer, Kessil, Turian, Osora, wow, that's a lot, Velora. Or at least we'll have traders or villages that are supposed to interact with you in a certain manner if you are wearing their gear. Or their equipment. And the way you upgrade your tools, you don't create them from zero, you just have the copper ones. You can make copper tools, and then to upgrade them, for example, to iron, you need a toolkit. It's a lot of money. The steel one is even more expensive, and then you go up to silver and gold. These things are very expensive, so the progression is great. I like the progression because it's a little bit challenging. If you don't play the right way, you will have a lot of issues with it. Food-wise, as you can see, you are hungry, you can eat some bread, or you can eat some very complex recipes, but sadly, again, look at all of the ingredients you can get. There's not much you can craft with the ingredients. I think I have most of the foods right now, and most of them will either give you a combination of food or simple food. They can also give you some energy or health, so they can restore some stats, but it's not really balanced. So you're supposed to sell the food cooked, but for example, the lobster is so hard to catch, and you only get 24 food out of it. So you might as well just go in the forest, kill a deer, get the venison, cook it, and it's 20 food. So the difference is huge in my opinion, because this is super easy. This is just food walking around your house. This is, you have to go to the sea, you have to go and fish. It's very hard to catch it. So again, this should have a lot of other effects as well, and they're supposed to be used for quests as well. But again, there's no point in bothering with all of that, as there are not even enough recipes. Or for example, you need cabbage and carrots, which are impossible to get in the winter for this one. You're supposed to eat certain types of food in certain types of seasons. Again, it's very complex, but it's not done. It's super under cooked, if we can say that. Also, our character, beyond its equipment, we have armor, helmet, pants. You don't have any armor pants unless you kill the main boss, which I spared, and apparently you don't get any rewards for sparing the main villain of the game, which made me a little upset, because that was 20 hours wasted. And then you have a trinket over here, which can be a lot of other effects, but sadly there are not enough trinkets either. One is the best one, and probably people will be playing with it for a very long time, and you just find it on in the forest. And over here as well. So sometimes you'll see affinity, nobility, royalty. Does it have any purpose in the game? Nope. None whatsoever. But you only get a minor effect, for example 5% movement speed while on foot. You can also have a horse, but the horses are super expensive. And you should first of all focus on your economy, because if you spend all your money on silly stuff instead of spending it on diagrams, or, you know, just making stuff in your house or upgrading your tools, you'll quickly notice that you'll be stuck for a very long time with very bad stuff. So yeah, silver pickaxe and steel axe, these are the minimums needed to advance at a decent rate and finish the game. And then, surprisingly, these are all the quests in the game. I might be thinking, well, that's a lot of quests we have in the game. Not really, and the contracts. Because we have our little farm over here, but this is a, let's call it a town. This is a town. This is a town, and there are other locations spread out and that can give you some quests here and there. And that's not much saying, because if you average it down, it's about 5 quests per location, but not even that, since some of the quests are so easy, like buy me that and bring it back. Some of them are more complex, but it's not enough. You also need repeating contracts, probably, to reduce the grind, because if you just complete this, you have nothing to play for later on. A lot of notes if you want to read. The game is very big on reading, and I like that a lot, especially the art style. So, one of the main selling points of the game is the art style. The purposeful patrol, stride with intention. Whether thou art navigating the ramparts or simply crossing the courtyard, do as if each step brings thee closer to thwarting shadowy skins. This is what I mean. It has a lot of quality. So if you have played a medieval game recently, you will remember that the writing is stupid and modern. This is how it's supposed to be written. This is how medieval-ish writing looks like, or looked like, or at least this should be like it. I think the medieval language was much more different. Yeah, you can understand it, but it was much more different than the modern one. So there's a lot of attention to the details. Also, as the player, you also have the skills over here. And yeah, you just use the skill and you upgrade it. And when you get to a certain point, like level 3, 5, I know, I think, whatever, it doesn't say so. I think this is level 6 and this is level 9. 9 is the max level you can get your skills in. I think if you play the demo, if I remember correctly, in the demo we had the skill sets going at least up to level 20, so not even this is ready to be played. So yeah, just expect this list to be double as long, because in the demo it's definitely longer than this, and 9 is not really enough. So yeah, even everything will just cap out after playing for 20 hours and there's not much left you can do. Basically, I have all of the things I could buy with money. I can buy some more furniture, but that means I have to put it upstairs and I'm not redecorating that again. Okay. So let's just go to the port so you can see more of the game and we'll just wander around. Looks great, plays pretty badly. The combat system is atrocious. They have to balance it so much and make it worthwhile, and also... They belong to the village. They have to balance so much of the combat to the point where they have to rework almost entirely, because you get stuck in the animation. And then the other character just goes around you. You can also block. Let's block. Let's parry. You can also parry. See, that was a parry, and you stun the enemy a little bit. My weapon, like I said, is not supposed to do this amount of damage. Some of the villagers will help you, but the villagers don't have an HP bar, so as you can see, the thieves are not attacking them. Basically, all of the villagers are immortal for now. Oh, my character is stuck, by the way. Oh, now it's unstuck. Yeah, my loot. Go away. And they're giving you huge healing potions and food when you kill a thief. You have also a very complex... I don't know how to tell you, a very complex way to interact with the NPCs. And you're supposed to find their traits, their skills, what they like, what they dislike, the status, the friendship. And you're supposed to choose, for example... Come back. Hey, you, come back here. Again, none of these systems are used, but they're currently in the game like a skeleton. So basically, puppeteering a big skeleton of a game. Setting will give you these options. You can just say hello, that will increase your standing with this character. You can jeer them, which will decrease your standing. I don't know why you would do that. So, for example, this character, he's a scoundrel, and he's calm right now. So I think he would enjoy a dirty joke. Hey, let me tell you a dirty joke. Come back here. Don't make me laugh at my own jokes. Fair day too. I said I want... Oh, come on. Stop walking away from me. I said I'll tell you a dirty joke and you'll enjoy it. Okay? Oh, the useless royals. You can say a funny joke. Talk about animal droppings. Also influence him and inspire him. You can do a lot of things, and there are a few items or triggers that can help you with this one. As you can see, it's very in-depth system that basically leads to nowhere, because the main thing this system is supposed to do is, like in Stardew Valley, you're supposed to be able to enter the houses. Without my sword, my legendary endgame sword, which look amazing. We cannot make our house look like this, which is a problem. We can put windows on it, but we cannot have this wallpaper over here or the shields. We can make a similar table. And this is locked. You cannot interact with it, you cannot open it because it's not currently available. Look at this. The bog and the... This looks so amazing. That style is 10 out of 100. It's... let's just say it's 100 out of 10. That sounds better. But it only has one function. So basically you can sell and buy stuff from these guys all the time. Doesn't matter when you come over here. Most of the things, like I showed you, have no purpose. You don't even interact with the NPCs to sell stuff. You just interact with the shops currently. There's also this very complex mechanic with the trade routes. And certain items being worth more at certain points and certain items being worth less. You also give them these items, but as you can see, they are super hard to make, and you're just going to get more reputation or more relation with characters you don't even need to know, and I don't know. If they finish the game, I think the game will be great in a 1.0 release, but like I said, I have so many doubts about this game that, yeah. Money is very hard to make, but as you can see, I have a lot of money just because I worked very much on it, this factor. You can put some stuff in the wardrobes. The tables you cannot interact with. The large heart are great. The purple rugs are also great. Some banners, the deer mound. There's the brick ovens. Let me buy the windows so I can put them in my house. Okay. Let's explore more of the game. There are certain resources that respawn. For example, the fresh trout, you can always take it from there. The plants. There's so much to know about the game, but at the same time it doesn't really help you, because after 20 hours you don't need it anymore. You can steal some things, but not much. Basically you are stealing the same thing over and over. It will drop your morality, but morality doesn't do anything. If you reach 0 morality, people will tell you are a scoundrel or something, but again, morality and renown are not really in the game either. Kind of like this poor house over here. You have the animals, but you cannot interact with them either. So you can make a farm house. You can all have all of these animals in your farm, the cows, the chickens, the goats, but there's not much to do with them. You can milk the lady cows and use the milk to make certain types of food, but again, it's so underdeveloped to the point where it's too buggy to even try it. Some people have tried it to have the barn, to feed the animals, to use them, but it's not worth it. It's too bland, it's not too good. So most of the times you'll just be coming over here to the village after you do the quest to buy the iron ore and maybe buy a kit to upgrade your weapons, or I mean to upgrade your tools. So iron, steel, silver and gold. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of stuff. And some people say it's grindy. It's not grindy, it's just that the game is missing a lot of its content. You're not supposed to make the tools so fast, and you're supposed to have multiple ways of making money, but you don't really have it. This is another shop, but this is all they sell. That's a cool picture over there. What is that supposed to be? A dragon! It's a dragon, okay. The artwork carries the game so much to the point where you think, well, it cannot be that bad, but it is. Plants also grow over the place. And some of the skills you can... Well, I guess I didn't really show you them, but it doesn't really matter. You can harvest more ore. You can craft to less items. You can sell your goods for bigger profits. But everything is unbalanced. So there are definitely a lot of stuff that will break the game or make it too easy. I don't want to tell you some of them, but they're very, very simple ones. Very... See? That was a FPS drop. And also another big problem, or a lot of, well, I guess it's called missing content, missing content technically, is that none of this works as it should work. For example, the villagers don't really have a schedule. They just wander around aimlessly and sometimes interact with each other. They don't go about their business during the day. They don't really have... You can give money to increase your morality. They don't have a schedule. They don't work on their property. They don't interact with other characters. Again, it's supposed to be a very, very immersive sim game, but currently it's just this what you see. It's kind of like a skeleton. So donate money over there. Over there to the coastal city, and then I'll end the video. Because if I show you certain portions of the game, you'll think the game is amazing. It's great, but it's just a little bit underwhelming. You can also come over here to this guy and he'll expand your inventory. If you have the feathers are all over the place. So all over the map you'll find some weird feathers. And as you can see, this row over here is locked. You can unlock it. Also, when you start playing the game, you don't have any skill slots unlocked, and you have to unlock them by using those feathers as well. So progression is great, but not really going anywhere. And you can also have a horse and call it up by whistling, which I think it works as it sounds. You can call it anywhere. You can buy a unicorn, but it's 10,000 gold. Yeah, good luck with this. I'll have to farm enough money to buy the unicorn at some point. Look at how great the details are. So when it's going to be nighttime, it's getting darker, but not completely dark. You can just run away from any enemy in the game, which is another problem. Just run away and leave them alone, or use your bow and kill them. Using the bow is definitely overkill and too easy, because the enemies cannot outrun you, or they cannot even catch up to you, so just use the bow and kill everything. You can kill everything with a basic bow. Aiming is also very janky, because look at this. I aim for its head, we missed. I aim for the chest, we missed. You have to aim for... Whoa, what was that? This is a new bug, by the way. Why is it splitting in two? You have to aim for the knee. You have to deliver the arrows to the knee, otherwise you'll not hit. So let me show you. This is how you'll be playing the game in the beginning, when you don't really have a lot of stuff to do. Also very dark now. Let's go to the coastal city, because that's pretty impressive as well. There's supposed to be also a bigger branching story, but the current story is just about you activating some portals, interacting with some shrines, grinding a lot of time to get the materials, and then either sparing or killing the Dark Lord. And I spared him. Farming 7, as you can see. Animal bonding speed, but it doesn't work currently, so don't bother with that. There are basically skill cards for everything. We can, let's say, replace this one, Craftsman, with Botanist. Chance to get extra on foraging, but it doesn't really show you like that, and you might not even get extra items. It's very hard to tell. Look at the shadows and the lights, it's so nice. The dream for most people who want to just relax with a game like this, but for people like me who want to get the gameplay. That's a feather, I missed that one. I don't think the statue is supposed to look like this. I think it's supposed to be more elaborate, but I guess they didn't have time. Yeah, you're also going to get a little bit scared. I think the developer should make the game more balanced. Oh, that's a different knight. You cannot use a shield, by the way. You also have a heavy attack, so you have a dodge roll and block. You also jump away, which is a back dash, a back dodge. What's it called? I don't know. You can jump backwards to dodge, you can do a dodge roll forward, and you can also block and parry. So the combat system is supposed to be very, very, very fun and very interactive and very rewarding. But currently it's the most basic thing in the game. It's not really working as intended. But yeah, if you go down this wall over here, you cannot get out. That silver, by the way, just grows everywhere. Silver item, I mean, imagine mining, it's like items growing out of the ground right now. It doesn't have any logic, doesn't have much of a purpose. This is also one of the other player locations you can probably build, probably interact with stuff over here, but I cannot be bothered to build stuff over here as well since it's so hard. Where is the light coming from? I don't know, I guess aliens. Aliens have taken over the place. So yeah, this is a review after 100% of the current version of the game. Wait for the next big update. I think the developers had even co-op planned for the game, but I don't think it's working. I don't think it's coming. They have so much work to do, especially with working on more on the map, on the trade routes, on making the game feel more alive, on giving you more things to fight. Having the enemies actually have a chance to catch up to you and actually making the combat hard. More enemy types, more attack types, more loot, more, I don't know, it just needs more of everything. You need to basically triple the amount of content that is currently in the game to even make it worth the price. I mean, as a fan, speaking of, like I said, Graveyard Keeper and other games of this type, it's not really that appealing to me, but... Searching for a bear, by the way. Okay, I guess I'm just trying to tell you that it's very different when someone plays it for YouTube and someone plays it on their own. If you're playing this on your own, you know, just to relax, probably not going to be worth it. If I'm playing it for YouTube, well, at least it's worth it in a way. By the way, the bear has a little animation where it shows you its teeth. If it's not following you, see? Well, you can barely see it because it's pretty dark, but it exists. Yeah, they can attack each other, but keep in mind the game has only two planes, left and right. So attacking upwards is very dodgy and buggy. Attacking downwards is also very hard. So they have to fix also this problem with the planes not aligning. You cannot attack upwards or downwards. You can imagine that creates a lot of problems. Plus you're getting stun locked into the, well, not stun locked, but just locked into the animation. If you press your mouse a couple of times, you have to wait a long time. I guess it also depends on the weapon. Currently there are only swords in the game, which is another big problem. I think the game is supposed to have all of the weapons that you see in a medieval game, but oh. You can also explode the red barrels, which I guess... They do a lot of damage and they can definitely one-shot your character no matter how much armor you have. Also use them to just kite the enemies around them and then blow them up. So again, it's so many... There is so much thought that has gone into the game, but doesn't really go anywhere. The coastal city. I guess they just allow bears inside right now. This guard is stuck over there. I don't think he should be there. Let's go over here, let's see what they have to tell, what to sell us, what the shop has. I don't think they ever... They might regenerate their items. They might have the things back on sale at some point. I bet. I should buy the bed. Yeah, I guess I'm tired of sleeping on that weird thing. On that bed without a mattress. Have a good day, sir. I guess I sold some things over here, that's why they have it. Look at how beautiful this is. The design is great. The artwork is great. So like these are the things where you have to get quests, but I did all of them already. Yeah, let me go and show you the ship, and that will be the end of the review. I guess you're not used to reviews like this, but I just like to show you the current state of the game and why it's worth it to buy now or not. I would have followed that deer, but now I'm just showing you things. Also stove your weapon. You stove it like that, but when you take it out it's instant. Again, many little details that just make the game be very, very weird. Or the sword actually going through your head when running. Good morning to you. It's indeed morning, so the characters have a lot of things. Also do the fishing. The fishing minigame is pretty boring, but let me just quickly show it to you. It's not really worth it doing. Not worth doing right now. I also didn't write a script for the game because I think I'm just so tired of people trying to sell me stuff that I don't want to sell stuff either. You're supposed to press left click, I press right click over there. The fishing minigame. I think, well, that's pretty boring, but it can get super fast, the line can be super narrow, and you also have that thing coming. And you'll only catch the fish if you manage to fill up the entire thing with water. And I fished a stone. Great, right? You don't have bait, you don't have various types of fishes that can be caught in various types of location. I think you can even catch the lobster anywhere. I think it's different from, maybe the river has different types of fish, but at least the water has all of the fish you can imagine. There's also a lighthouse over there. I think you're supposed to take the big ship to other lands or something. That's something you cannot take either. Oh, this is Sibylla. Oh, this is the final quest I had to finish. We'll visit again sometime soon. Duncan's rabbit foot. Huh. May improve fortunes when kept in inventory. Okay, now I finished all of the quest officially. I didn't realize she was on the ship because this is one thing I liked about the game as well. You don't get a lot of information. Sometimes the quest is marked like a big yellowish spot, but you don't really get markers per se, and sometimes the quests are even more obscure. I like this game. I hope they go with the more hardcore route. Oh, now I played the entire game without this item. Maybe I would have gotten so much more rich if I had it in my inventory from the beginning. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. You might enjoy it, you might not enjoy it. Definitely grind. It has its good parts, its bad parts. But I strongly recommend you wait until the game is fully released, or at least until the next big update, to see if the developers have enough money to finish the game or not. Because if you buy it at this stage, you will definitely be disappointed by it. Like I said, I'm just playing it because I'm playing it for YouTube mostly, but I don't think I would have played this in my free time, just because now I know all of the details about the game, and I'm basically burned out on early access. I cannot play another early access game unless it's very, very good or very, very promising. Also, if you press F2 over here, you'll be taken out of the entire village. So it's a system that is designed to get you unstuck, but you can also cheese it to such a high degree to the point where it's playing the game with the console. Anyway, if you want to buy the game, just wait a little longer. I keep saying this, but otherwise I think the game is in, I don't know, it's in a playable state, what can I say? I just wish we had more of everything. Let me show you the coastal camp and then I'll end the video. Nothing happens. Later, maybe something will happen. You can use fast travel if you teleport, or you can just use your horse if you can afford one, maybe later if you don't upgrade your tools. You can have these things built anywhere you like, but yeah. Let's look at the view. Not very impressive, is it? Okay, let's go back to our little farm and then we'll probably faint over there. Let's put on the windows because I have the windows and I have not forgotten about it. See, this is why the game kind of pulls you in, because you want to do silly stuff like decorate stuff or, you know, relax a little bit or buy something for your house, but you don't really have a bigger goal to work for if you finish all of the quests. I don't really feel like I want to have cows, to be completely honest. The light source. I guess you cannot rotate it. Looks so cool. I guess I'll have to do this at some point. What else did I buy? Yeah, bed. Oh, the bed is too big. Okay. We cannot fit the bed because it's too big. Bye bye.